evening. My name is Steven. It's nice to meet you, Governor Michelle Richland.
Steven, it's nice to meet you, sir.
I just can read my shirt. I hold government accountable throughout the United States of America. What John Ramon said this evening, where he takes responsibility for the actions of the academy, I can tell you that's false. A month prior of the town hall meeting back on May 16th, he threw you under the bus, and it was pretty bad. I have video of it, and it's documented at City Council. Not just John didn't throw you under the bus really bad, so did Eric Lujan. Also threw you under the bus. It was pretty bad. There's record of it. I had it. I was at the meeting when this was happening. With me, I protect everyone, and I speak for people that are afraid to speak out because of retaliation, and I'm not. I already swallowed that pill a long time ago, so government comes free, government comes free. Well, with that being said, law enforcement, everyone that's in here, you're all probably thought I was going to do something crazy, and I'm not going to do nothing crazy, so you guys can stand down. I have so much respect for this lady right here. I know her since she was young again. I'm not like that. I just hold government accountable. Anyways, I would like to know what is an ordinance? Is an ordinance a rule within the city, or is it law within the city?
I'm going to pass it to the mayor. Ordinances are laws, but you can call it whatever you want. It's enforceable. I think the point to make about statutes and local ordinances is that they're enforceable. Something in statute likely enforceable at a higher level. A lot of ordinances don't allow you to penalize someone by jail time, but it depends on the ordinance. And I haven't talked to the mayor about this. Well, I did a little in the homeless meeting. There are 50 at least really good local ordinances that this state should adopt. And I can't make local governments adopt it, but I did promise at that meeting that I would cover that list. I'm a little behind, Mayor, but that list is coming. And I want local governments to adopt the ordinances that improve the quality of life, that are enforceable by sheriffs and by police and by state police. Typically that's done by the local police, but an ordinance has the same full effect.
Okay, hold on. Before you, I'm not done. So, here in the city of Espanola, you get an ordinance regarding panhandling, correct? Panhandling is protected under the Constitution of the United States under the First Amendment, which is freedom of religion and freedom of speech. The Supreme Court has ruled on that, so it's protected. You're talking about an ordinance, you're talking about a median that's not about less than 36 inches. You're talking about somewhere at a traffic light. In the United States Supreme Court, Gonzalez versus Castle Rock, you guys know that our safety is not your guys' concern. You know that, correct? Like law enforcement, they're only here to enforce laws. They're not here for our safety. We protect our own safety. They're here to uphold the laws, not for our safety.
That's not actually true. And Stephen, you are right. There has been, he's exactly right. And I think that's important when we're having a dialogue. To recognize, I know you are, but I want the public to know that you are as well. I want all the Facebook watchers to know that you're right as well. That's valuable, because sometimes people misunderstand. Sometimes I make a mistake, and we want the folks to know. But that Supreme Court interpretation, it's not interpretation, it's law. That panhandling is freedom of speech, but here are things that you can do for other people's safety. So if there is too narrow, I think the Espanola panhandling ordinance is not only, so we might disagree, not only constitutional, I'd like to see it statewide. Because we have the highest pedestrian death safety issues per capita in the country by a lot. And when you've got people who are texting and who are on the phone and who aren't paying attention, and we've got panhandlers, and there are changes, one person leaves, another person comes in. I've seen fights on those medians. I've seen chairs on 32 inches. I've seen a tent on those 32 inches. You can't see. It's untenable. That is allowable under that Supreme Court ruling. Here's what else is allowable under that Supreme Court ruling until it's changed. a challenge. I don't know what would happen, but I'm interested. Cities could require people, just like they do every other business, panhandlers to seek a license. You'd have to get a license, you could go through a background check. Many cities do this, so that the same standards that are applied to everyone's business are applied to panhandling. The license should be free, the support should be free, different kind of a business, but there are limitations to many people's interpretation of that Supreme Court free speech decision. Now I'm done. Thank you for giving me that time.
And then I just have a real quick thing. So you guys, seems like you guys are trying to figure out how to make less crime against the less fortunate people. Seems like that's what you guys are targeting, the less fortunate people to clean up the community. But what about everybody else that does the exact same thing as the less fortunate people? What about them? What are they gonna get?
They should be accountable too, and you make a very important point for me, which is, I don't do this as well as I intend to. So your t-shirt, hold us all accountable. I don't want, and I think I can speak for the panel and the community, I think. We should not, and we don't want to criminalize hardship or stigmatize and criminalize mental illness. That's wrong. We also are not wanting to criminalize addiction. That's not helpful. And if we tried to criminalize it, if I thought that was the right thing to do, you can build as many jails as you can get billions of dollars for. You can't incarcerate your way out of that. We need to stop poverty. We need to stop childhood trauma. We need to have fair housing. We need better community supports and quality of life. We need meaningful treatment. We need better educational outcomes. That's why we're having free child. We need all that, and we didn't get it for a long time. And we need it. But when you have serious crime and dangerous repeat offenders, whoever you are, whether you're unhoused or living in a mansion because of drug dealing, you should be treated so you can stand trial, or you should go right to jail if convicted or prison because you are a felon. That's what we're talking about. And I'm not really clear about it, and you were helpful. It's not everyone, it's not all of it, it's repeat, dangerous felonies. Rape, attempted murder, drug dealing, human trafficking, serious property damage, carjacking with kidnapping, people who are assaulting you with firearms when you go to the grocery store, the drug store. You can't buy allergy medication in most drugstores in New Mexico. You know why? Because they steal it so often that those pharmacies won't carry it, or they're closing, or they're locking up. So now the impacts to everyday citizens who believe in investing in prevention, dignity, respect, treatment, and anti-poverty pro-education programs are held hostage by dangerous folks. So you gave me an opportunity to clarify, because I'm struggling with that. I don't want people to believe, and thank you, Stephen, that we're trying to incarcerate people who have risk issues, or are poor, or minorities. I would never stand for that, and I don't believe that's anyone's position. I hope it's not anyone's position in the room, because then we really disappointed you, but the leaders in the state aren't interested in doing that, and frankly, I think it would be unconstitutional, to your point.
Can I just ask one more question? Is there funding to get rehab centers and local cities? Is there a way that the local government can get money some way, somehow to build rehab centers within the city? Because like that's what it is placed everywhere throughout the nation, that's what's lacking.
Agreed.
That's what's lacking.
And there is money.
I was at the encampment a couple of days ago, and I interviewed 45 people in Oklahoma. I walked through it. I have a huge platform. I have a huge social platform. I I do YouTube, Facebook, X, I do everything, I have a TikTok. So I did a walkthrough at the encampment here, spoke with everybody here. They're just nervous of where they're going because nobody has talked to them, everybody's just like, they're afraid to speak with these people. Like, they don't know how to interact, if they can have a normal conversation, I spoke with everyone, and they just need help, they need guidance, as is what they're looking for. If this city of Espanola had a facility or some way to have these people get counseled or help these people get, I would guarantee this city would be back to normal how it was 60 years ago. You know, or 30 years ago since I left. I no longer live here. I was a resident, but I moved away about 2 years ago. But I just wanted to know if there's funding for.
There is, and more needs to come, and there aren't enough easy access points. I don't want anyone, no one's hearing me say that it's all fixed, right? But there's a lot of money available, and we're actually going to make Espanola a center for every service, every part of government. And actually, Mr. Mayor, I agree with Stephen that we heard from the experts, you have to go into the encampments and say, we're closing. And at the same time, there's a leader in that encampment, or two. You have to commit that you will navigate people into services. Say what? And the people who are willing and follow those rules, and they can't be too narrow, they can't be too broad, we should support those folks. And the people who don't want that, who want to repeat these criminal behaviors, they get held accountable. That's the system that's working in Chicago, New York, Washington, D.C., Denver, Dallas, Houston. They're doing it now in L.A. I'm sure people saw the governor of California without I'm exaggerating what the order says, but to generalize, sort of, we're not going to have any encampments in California anymore, and directing cities and counties to deal with it. So it's coming in America, because it can't be all of one and none of the other. And we want to make Espanola a model place for its